Well, if you've been following Erik ten Hag for a very long time, you know that we are not even nowhere near playing like the way he wants, but we are just trying to capitalize and obviously use the press to really win these games of football and obviously capitalize on moments and hit teams on the break, sequences developing, but you know that Ten Hag really wants to play a total game of football, the tiki-taka, and if at all we are going at where at teams like Barcelona that are topping the La Liga and we give them a game like this, trust me, we are destined for just good things ahead of us. Welcome to United Matters channel. It's the player rating session here on the United Matters channel. To Barcelona, to United, and I'm going to rate all the players that really came on the field of play because United, I think, made one substitute, not so. They brought in only Alejandro Garnacho for Jadon Sancho, and the rest of the players never featured anywhere into this beautiful game of football. That is it for Manchester United. But before I get to the player ratings, Erik ten Hag has confirmed to us that the team is flying back to Manchester today. Now they are flying back to Manchester, and I think it's like, is it a 4 hours flight? So I think they are going to get back to Manchester, sleep over, and tomorrow evening he has called for a recovery training session to really prepare for the game of Leicester City on Sunday. It shows you that we only have 2 days, that is Friday and Saturday, to see to it that we really get ourselves back to winning ways. But the good thing is that Ten Hag is really having this team in his hands. It's a team of Erik ten Hag. He's showing us that this is my team. I can put Weghorst in the central attack midfield area. Then I give Rashford a free role. He thrives off the left, right, and wide, right or left, to really torment the opponents we're really playing against. Smash the like button, comment and share. Don't forget to subscribe because we want to hit 11,000 subscribers. Guys, it's a shame that we are going to the second month of 2023 and we've not yet hit 11,000 subscribers. Remember, we are less by, is it 50 subscribers to hit 11,000 subscribers? So guys, go into the lower right bottom corner and subscribe to this channel. Now, let's go to the player ratings of this game of football. I start off with David De Gea pulling out very good saves for Manchester United, and I believe he's one of those that's really going to be highly rated in this game of football because he keeps us in this game of football. His ball distribution has been really good and he has commanded this well. And I find it insultive when someone says that David De Gea would have gotten off his line to come out and save and really punch out that ball that United conceded the first goal. That was way out of his reach, and it is Freddy who doesn't mark his man. That's it. That's why Marco Alonso really heads it in the back of them because he gets a free header. But I believe he did very well, pulled out very good saves for the game of United. Very many crosses directed at goal. He won them, the corners, especially for Barcelona. He wins them because they are going in for the far post. Always Rafinha was bringing in that ball to the far post to find a defender who was making a run from the far lane or from the far line of the D to really make it to the far post to meet that ball and really head it. But I believe it's always nice to have David De Gea do that, and none of the goals that really went in through that you're going to go ahead and really blame him. The first one, it's Freddy's mistake, not marking Marco. It's not Marco Asensio, it's as Alonso, Marcos Alonso. Then the second one, obviously Casemiro gives away the ball, and obviously it's cut inside into the near post, and obviously Lewandowski looks like he's putting in his foot, and I think it really puts David De Gea out of direction, and United goes ahead to really get a second goal conceded. But I think we put in a very good game. David De Gea distributed the ball very well, and right now I think he deserves an 8.5 out of 10 for me because he did very well and he kept us in the game very many times because Barcelona were a threat on us, and even Ter Stegen also kept them in the game for very many minutes because I believe in the first half, Weghorst, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, who else? Very many huge chances created in that game that would have seen us really score against them, but we lacked composure a little bit, and obviously we failed to score. Now I'm giving David De Gea an 8 out of 10. We go to Bissaka, a little bit sloppy at the beginning of the half, giving away the ball sometimes, but looked solid. His recovery pace is really out of this world. He's very fast, and I think Ten Hag is really getting used with him and is seeing him as a man that can compete with Diego Deno in that position, and we are here to wait until the summer whether he's going to sell him or he's going to keep him at the club. And for Bissaka, he got a very good chance, by the way. He made a run past, is it Gavi or Jordi Alba, and he put in a cutback to find Sancho, but that effort of Sancho is just deflected off and it goes into the corner because the goal, was it the defender? I think the defender of Barcelona really gets a touch or pokes his foot into it and it goes into the corner kick. But he played very well and I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10. That's it. 6.5 out of 10 for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Tyrell Malacia, another player that really had a decent game, but I believe having Sancho not tracking back a lot and Barcelona having Rafinha to that side, it was a hard game for him. And I think this is one of the biggest games he's played in Europe away because he has never played against Barcelona, according to me. I've never seen his team play against Barcelona in a European competition. So he really put in a very good effort, according to me. And to me, he deserves a very good 7 out of 10 because closing down Rafinha for those minutes, guys, it's not easy. And that goal we conceded from Rafinha, it's because the team is in transition, advancing high up the pitch. Casemiro loses that ball and we concede. That's why you concede. But he really played very well. I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. That is Tyrell Malacia. Then his stats were as follows. This way in the first half, 80% passes completed, 29 touches, 6 out of 8 ground duels won, 3 out of 3 tackles won, 2 fouls won, 2 dribbles and 1 interception. That is Malacia for you, the left back of United, who was really at the A of his game today. Because if you are to get a result in Camp Nou, you need all your players to be playing there again. Let's go to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw played very well. I believe he's being played out of position because Lisandro Martinez was away and you expect him to play the left back when you were playing against Barcelona at Old Trafford. Then Lisandro Martinez really comes in through to play as a left centre back. Now, he played very well, composed himself, though close to 2 or 3 times Lewandowski got ahead of him and he failed to track that run, but Varane was all there to see to it that really helps him out. And I'm giving Luke Shaw a 7 out of 10 because he defended very well, and none of those goals we concede is because of the defense. That's it. It's because of Freddy and Casemiro giving away the ball. That means the midfield cost us, but the defense, we did a very good job. If at all they had not given away those chances, we keep a clean sheet away at Barcelona. I'm giving Luke Shaw 7 out of 10. We go to Rafael Varane. Oh, guys, he had one of the hardest games to do, and he found himself even getting a yellow card by fouling Gavi at the center line because it looked like Lewandowski, who was really a very huge player. But Varane showed us that he's a world-class defender. He managed Lewandowski very well to an extent that I think Lewandowski got like 1 shot on target. The others were denied to him by Rafael Varane. He almost had him every time around his chest. So I believe Varane really played very well. And keeping Lewandowski out of that game of football, I'm giving him a 7.5 out of 10 because it's not an easy job. Give Harry Maguire that job to mark Lewandowski, we concede because Lewandowski is a fast player. Amid him being 34 years of age, he busts into space. He's talented. His skill set is out of this world and he's composed. You get? He's such a good striker. To me, the best number 9 in the world, that is Lewandowski. And I'm giving Rafael Varane 7.5 out of 10 because to me, I believe he pocketed him. Had nothing to do with that game. And he looked frustrated, by the way. He looked frustrated. Then we go to Casemiro, CDM, gifting the second goal, but the rest of the things were really good for him. That is, Casemiro played very well, and you see how important it is to have him into our team. When you're having him, we can really use central axis transitions because he really initiates play from the back and obviously plays through the central midfield. That is Casemiro. And we are always a good team. Our composition is great. The way he really blocks and combats the game of the opponent and obviously shields that back four is really impressive. Frankie de Jong was nowhere to be seen. And the midfield battle was won by Casemiro, and he did a very wonderful job. And for my case, I'm giving Casemiro, however much he really gave away that ball, but he did a lot. 7 out of 10 for me is going to Casemiro into that beautiful game of football. And his total game by numbers included 55 touches, 3 out of 3 aerial duels won, 3 long balls completed, 2 ground duels won, 2 tackles won, 1 key pass. That is Casemiro for you. And Stateman Dave is the source where we're getting them from, earning a 7 out of 10 for me in that beautiful game we played away at. In that beautiful game we played away at the Spotify Company Stadium. Then we go to his counterpart, Freddie. First half, Freddie was bad. He looked bad in the first half. He was bad, but he came to life in the second half and played very well. But you know his problems, that his final pass is always not all that great, but he runs around like headless chicken. His intensity is really high, and you have to go ahead and really give him a go and a shout out because of the work he did into that game of football. But we concede the first goal because of him failing to track back to help not tracking back, but failing to mark his man. You get? That is Fred Rodriguez. And I believe those are some of the reasons as to why the manager is really going to find himself playing Sabitzer ahead of him, the game of Barcelona at Old Trafford, because I believe first and foremost he needs a rest, and we need more control. If at all we had such a control of the game, when you're not having Sabitzer in the midfield, double pivot alongside Casemiro, how is it going to be when Sabitzer is playing? I think he's going to play Sabitzer and Casemiro for the very first time, because he needs them to know themselves a lot better ahead of the Carabao Cup final, as United will be preparing for it and preparing for the return of Casemiro in the English games that are really going to be played after he conceded what we call a red card against Crystal Palace. And his game by numbers were as follows. That is Fred, 48 touches, 7 ground duels won, 5 out of 6 tackles won, 2 fouls won, 1 key pass, 1 assist in there for you, and another energetic performance from Freddie. And I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10. That's it. 6.5 out of 10, because however much he puts in that assist for, is it Rashford for the first goal, but the way we concede, the first goal is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. That's it. Because you have to keep your ban. You have to keep your ban. We go to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes really played. He was not up to his A game, but I don't want to blame him in this incident, because he was played out of position. He was played as a right winger, and you don't expect a lot from him when he's playing as a right winger, not so. But I believe he put out a game. He gave them a game. He released Weghorst, put in some beautiful cross at the beginning of the game. So I believe he had an average game according to me. And this is Bruno Fernandes' game by numbers before we really give him our rating as a player of Manchester United that played down in Catalonia. That is 83% passing accuracy, 50 touches, 5 ground duels won, 5 clearances, 2 key passes, 1 big chance created, and it went to Wout Weghorst, who really failed to hit the target towards the end. I think it was around the 28th minute of the game. That is Bruno Fernandes for you. And with such 6.5 out of 10 for me is going to Bruno Fernandes. That's it. 6.5 out of 10 is going to Bruno Fernandes. Then we go to Jadon Sancho. Sancho really had a good game for me because he never lost the ball. One thing I like about Sancho ever since return from rehabilitation is the way he runs. He runs a lot. He runs a lot. He puts in a lot of effort to put himself in a position of really being safe, and he has gone ahead to do this game in, game out ever since he returned. In the game of Leeds, he really ran a lot. Even today, he has ran a lot. He covered a lot of distance, closing down the enemies, coming out and really trying to help Malacia a lot into this game, and I believe that really helped us combat Barcelona in their transitions as they try to attack against us. I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10. Jadon Sancho, 6.5 out of 10. We got to Wout Weghorst. He missed one of the big chances of the game, but I believe he ran out well. He covered good spaces, and I believe he has not yet got himself to this team a lot, but I know when he really finds himself a position in this team, he's really going to be playing better. Even today, he was played out of position as a number 10, and that is a result of United having very many injuries. You get? and Sabitzer being out, plus the likes of Lisandro Martinez and Anthony. But if at all Anthony is here, Martial is here, Sabitzer is here, I don't see him anywhere play in a number 10 position. That's it. I think Bruno will get back to his central attacking midfield position. Anthony shifts left, Mount left shifts right, Rashford shifts wide left, then Martial leads the line, Sabitzer and Casemiro double midfield pivot for me into that beautiful game of football. So I believe that is it for Wout Weghorst, and he's getting himself a 6.5 out of 10 from me. He even had a chance he created for Sancho, and if at all Sancho had composed himself better, he would have gone ahead to really score that goal, and very many other goals that we missed out onto this game of football. Let's go to Marcus Rashford. Scores the first one, get involved with the second one, and I believe he would have even found himself on the score sheet in the first half because he was released. Sancho gave him a pass, then he took an instant first touch into the 18 box area of the enemy to create himself space with a tight angle. But instead of going in for a cutback for Bruno Weghorst, he went in for the far post, and that resulted into Ter Stegen saving that ball. But it was another huge opportunity that he had created himself, and he played very well for me because scoring in those goals was really crucial, and he really did a very fantastic job for Manchester United. Then his game by numbers: 32 touches, 3 key passes, 3 shots on target, 3 grand duels won, 1 foul, 1 goal, and obviously he put out a superlative performance. That is Marcus Rashford, and I'm giving him an 8.5 out of 10 for me. 8.5 out of 10 because I'm seeing Rashford trying to really put this team on his shoulders. He's literally one of those players that has really made a very huge turnaround that no one expected, because if you told me that he's going to score 20 goals the entire season, I would have said yes, because I know his capacity. But with the number of games we are left in the Premier League, that are like 15, and if I told you add some other games, we can play like more 10 games. If I told you we knock out Barcelona, knock out West Ham in the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup semi-final, the return leg, so he's still having like 20 games to play, and they can accumulate to 30, because if you are to play until the finale of the Carabao Cup, the finale of the FA Cup, there are like some other 3 games left. Then UEFA Europa League, those are like some 6 games left. Quarterfinals, is it quarterfinals? I think it's going to be the round of 16, by the way. It's going to be the round of 16. If I told you knock out Barcelona, there is the round of 16, round of 8, round of 4, and then the final. Those are 8 other games plus 3 from the FA Cup. I think if at all we continue playing like that, we might see ourselves play close to more 25 games this season. So that puts Rashford in a tally, or in a position to score more goals, because if he can really score, I think he has played how many games? Are they 31 games for United in total? He has played 22 games of the Premier League. He has played every game, 23. He played all the games. I think he played all the games of everybody. He played 5. Those are like 30. I think if he has played 32 games with 22 goals, that means if he plays more 20, he might see himself firing in like 40 goals a season. You get? And Robin Van Persie is the last player to score close to 32 goals a season in total for United. And I think Rashford is left with 10 goals to really equal him. And I think very soon, by mid-March, I think would have really raised this number of goals. That is Marcus Rashford, and I believe he's really having a very good job. 8.5 for me for Marcus Rashford. Alejandro Garnacho came on through, played some 10 minutes. Sancho got off. I've seen people coming out and complaining that why did he have to do that? I told them that it's simple. This team and the manager knows what it means to groom young talent. You get? He knows when to bring him on, because when the game is 2-2 at Barcelona, you know that all what you need is that game not to end in the favor of Barcelona, but to end in a result that gives you a reason to go on and really get a win at Old Trafford and go through. A result of a draw was the best, because when we register any win, we are through. and he just brought on Alejandro Garnacho to get ready, to get some 10 minutes into his legs, and I believe he might be useful in the game of Leicester City that we're going to play at Old Trafford over the weekend. So that really puts us in a position of really getting the following players back into our team. I think Scott McTominay might be available. If Anthony comes in through, then Rashford will find himself leading the line or playing out wide left or wide right, because in all of those situations he's really good. Because today he scores all those goals from the right side. That's it. That's where he scores them from. Then let's go to Alejandro Garnacho. 6 out of 10 for me. Let's go to the manager Erik ten Hag. 8 out of 10 for me. Super masterclass. He out-thought the manager of Barcelona, and obviously he caught him offside. And where he is, I've read a quote of Owen Hargreaves about Xavi, and I believe where he is, he's not liking it. Let me try to look for it. Owen Hargreaves, where are you? Because you've said something that I really want to throw on the screen before I read it. Where is it? Owen Hargreaves. There is something he said about the game of football today that Xavi just found himself surprised. There is something hidden about that Xavi, that is Xavi, the manager of Barcelona, might be the dressing room really wondering what had befallen him today at his stadium. So that calls for me to go in for my man of the match. My man of the match is guys, David De Gea for me. David De Gea for me. Rashford scores a goal and gets the second one, but it's David De Gea for me. He takes the day because he keeps us into play a lot. Though Rashford scores one and is only the second goal, I believe David De Gea was the man of the match for me. At first I thought Rashford, but when I thought through that game of how he put in efforts to keep us into that game, no one really goes past him. So 8.5 tied with Rashford, but my man of the match is David De Gea. So tell me who your man of the match is in the comment section below. May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. I sign on for now. See you later. Good night, my mates. And I think let's talk tomorrow as we discuss the new bids that have been made by the Qataris. It's 5 billion bid that they're planning to put in, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe is looking in for people to back him up to take over Manchester United, raise his bid to 5 billion pounds. Good night, guys.